Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Was that morning where you are? Yes, I now have an American audience to corrupt. Hello there. I've been told to behave myself, not to scare you away, but I can't make any promises. Anyway, welcome to the first ever world final of the PlanetSide 2 Community Clash. After many weeks, we've whittled down 16 outfits from around the globe to just 2 of the very best. DasAnfall from North America and MercenaryS from Europe, both fighting for exclusive in-game rewards, community acclaim, and that most precious thing of all, bragging rights. Oh yes. I am PoisonedAl, and this is my wonderful American co-host, Hamma. Say hi.
Hello, everybody. Looking forward to today's matchup.
Ooh, definitely. It's going to be a good one, and you know it. Right, and to my left is Ender from DasAnfall. How you doing?
Doing pretty well. Just waiting to get going here.
So there are very few people watching. Who are you, and what does your outfit do? Remember, you've got a nicer European audience who might not know who you are.
Sure. I'm Ender. I primarily play on Matherson's server. My outfit is DasAnfall. We're primarily VS, but we switch factions quite a bit to deal with overpop. So,
Ooh,
yeah,
very sporting. I say, by the name, people might be mistaken in thinking you're the European representative, but no, you're the American one.
I think most Europeans will know that this is absolutely incorrect German. It's just a name that I thought was cool when I was in like 6th grade, and it stuck. So here we are.
Yes, from what I've been seeing from the American streams, that your playstyle is very different from MercenaryS's over there. Yours seems to be a bit more refined. Theirs a bit less so. They take a sledgehammer to crack a nut, but they are very good at cracking nuts. So how's your playstyle going to change today?
We were thinking about adding lasers in there today. We might play a little Team America in the background.
Oh, brilliant. I've little birdie told me you've been talking to Any Elite about some pointers. Is that true?
I've asked quite a few outfit leaders. I gotta do my homework and make sure I know who I'm fighting.
Very sneaky. And to put chat's criticisms at rest, it's pure DasAnfall tonight. You don't have any ringers because there's so many tinfoil hats tonight. It's just ridiculous.
Everybody playing tonight is on the DA roster.
Yeah,
100%.
You heard that, chat? Did you hear that? Now shut up. Right. In that case, I'll hand over to my lovely co-host, Hamma. Do you want to take it away?
Absolutely. I'm happy to welcome MercenaryS here to the final. And we're going to go ahead and ask Master Chief here a few questions. First off, welcome back.
Thanks, Hamma. It's good to be here. We can't wait to get stuck into DasAnfall.
So, for anybody who does not know anything about you guys, could you tell us a little bit about your outfit?
Yeah, MercenaryS started back in 2000 before PlanetSide 1. Progressing through PlanetSide 1, we've always entered competitive games and done well in them. And we set the outfit up in order to do that. As a playstyle, typically with special ops, we'll drop anywhere, regardless of the population, and if we're outpopped, all the better. And it's pretty much what we do, and we hope it will serve us well today.
Awesome. Have you guys been doing any research on DasAnfall? How, watching hours of matches or anything like that to prepare?
I mean, naturally, we've watched all the Clash matches, not just DasAnfall. They're interesting to watch. You see what different outfits do, regardless of their perceived skill level. Everybody does something different, and you can maybe adapt some of that. We've scrimmed with a few outfits. Roughnecks from Miller have been great in basically providing us with a sparring partner. Future Crew as well. They've been great for helping us prep for this specific lane. So we've looked them up and seen basically who we're going to be facing.
Awesome. As PoisonedAl mentioned a few minutes ago, you guys have kind of differing play styles. Do you have any plans to alter what you do tonight?
We have a varied play style. Often a lot of it's not actually seen in these Clash matches, and we may bring something different that's not been seen on any of our matches so far. DasAnfall are going to be possibly the toughest opponents we've faced in this competition. and we may need to bring something extra out of the bag to deal with them.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to what you guys can do, and you guys can go ahead and join your teams now as we go over a quick rule overview of the game. So, each match consists of two 45-minute halves. Each team has 24 players. The team at the end of both halves with the most points wins, naturally. If the two teams tie, a death match will decide the victor. Capturing a single point base awards the capturing team 2 points, and capturing a 3-point base awards the capturing team 3 points. Capturing the opposing team's home base rewards the capturing team 5 points and ends the half. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and hand off to Klyka, who's going to give us an overview of the lane tonight.
Thank you very much, Hamma. Welcome everybody to the World Finals. My name is Klyka, and I will be one of your casters today, alongside Maggie Luperza, who is currently doing a nice countdown. And we have here the wonderful lane for today, which, of course, is going to be the Amerish lane yet again. Starting out in the south, in the hands of MercenaryS for the first round, Tuma's Tech Plant. Then, heading on over here, the wonderful and elusive Tuma's Skylands Battery. And in the middle, the neutral base of the lane, Chimney Rock Depot, which is going to be fiercely fought over, because that's what we've seen so far on the lane. Like, most of the battles are going to fit into this tiny little base right next to a huge mountain. And from there, if we go more to the north into VS territory, we find Heyoka Chemical Lab, the first base for DasAnfall. And then, of course, their home base, which is Heyoka Tech Plant. Now, both outfits here have tech plants, and that means they'll be able to pull main battle tanks, which we will probably see quite a few of if we remember the earlier fights from last week. So that's going to be something, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this lane plays out between these two amazing outfits. Now, we're still waiting for the countdown for the match to actually start, so we've got MercenaryS, who I will be starting with here at Tuma's Tech Plant, and Luperza is going to follow DasAnfall from the north. And of course they're doing the usual setup, you know, having a galaxy here. It seems they have like one guy next to it, so they're going to jump in, fly it over, and most of them are probably going to spawn on the galaxy and drop in. And we're going to see quite a few Reavers coming in. So I hope that we will see a nice starting air clash again, which is kind of like the de facto start for Comp Clash now, isn't it? So with 30 seconds to spare, let's get ready for a great match. And good luck, and of course fun to both outfits.
Ten seconds on the countdown.
And with that, we've got 10 seconds left on the countdown. So everybody, get ready. In 5 seconds, we're starting this off. And here we go, the World Finals for the Community Clash, MercenaryS versus DasAnfall start. And we go out into the air. Immediately, we've got one Reaver Bravo 7 here just heading past. Scythe flying for DasAnfall directly at Chimney Rock. Now, where is this Reaver going? I feel that he actually wants to go immediately for Heyoka Chemical. Yup, he's going to jump out. It's an infiltrator. There he is. He's going to hack those light bridges and immediately turn them into NC. Now, that's going to take DasAnfall some time.
DasAnfall already has a infantry on the point, and they're already capping it.
They are capping it, but of course, seeing how it is a neutral base, it means that the first 2 minutes of capping are actually not that important just yet, because you're literally just taking the time away from, you know, the neutral faction that's not even playing. So I fear that we're going to see the actual fighting on the ground starting when the 2-minute counter hits.
Indeed, we've seen that multiple times in the past, and it wouldn't be surprising if we see it again here.
Definitely not surprising, but what is quite surprising right now is just how the air battle is going, because those scythes for DasAnfall are just ripping into the Reavers that MercenaryS is bringing out, and it seems that MercenaryS is actually getting beaten quite badly in the air so far. They were holding some Reavers back, but most of the ones that went forward just got completely obliterated.
Yeah, and DasAnfall is known for their aircrew. They have quite a good aircrew as well as infantry, so we'll see how this goes. It looks like MercenaryS still has a galaxy up, but it got taken out. Oh, sadness.
Yeah, but MercenaryS doesn't just care about their air game. It seems to be a bit more of a distraction right now. They've actually managed to bring 2 Sunders into Chimney Rock, one directly on the south where they're deploying in a bit of a safer spot, and the other one moving directly next to point A here. And they also have 2 Vanguards bringing in the north to stop whatever DasAnfall tanks and Sunders are going to come from there. And I feel that MercenaryS is actually going to start flipping that point any second.
Yeah, and we're said, so we'll see what happens here if NYC is going to be able to capture this point. DasAnfall definitely has a lot of crew members on it. They're already dropping on with beacons as well as they're doing that high altitude dropping that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, and this building is actually pretty hard to hold here because, first of all, they don't have a lot of infantry, but the building in itself is incredibly open. So if Mercenary manages to get close to it, they can just throw some grenades into the multiple openings and, you know, like smoke out whoever's in there. But it seems that they still need a few seconds to gather their forces, especially with DasAnfall still having air superiority over the base.
Alright, we're seeing a little, like about a half a squad of NYC coming onto the A point. They have about
Oh yeah, here comes MCY. Here comes MCY with their maxes, of course, bringing them in. Smoke goes down. They're going to clear that room. They've got some squishy still up. The 1 max is alive inside the room. 2 maxes now in. And they're flipping the point. And that was almost a 2-minute mark. Fable 2-minute mark. It's almost set to... Yep, here we go. Turn around. And they're flipping it for MCY now with 2 minutes 20 left.
And we've known them in the past to continually put down that smoke, so I think you're going to be able to see that throughout the evening here.
Or are you going to see something?
Oh, here we go. This is what they've always done. In the past, I've watched this. Last week, we saw them pull in a Vanguard, and they kind of utilized this Vanguard to clear the area outside of the A point, giving them a little bit of a buffer. But looks like DasAnfall was quick on that. They C4'd, took it out, and it is gone.
Yeah, and MercenaryS is doing the usual thing, which is just being a wall of steel, sitting in that room and holding it against all odds. They don't actually, it seem to have any kind of respawn points right now, apart from a single spawn beacon that's way to the south. But they're holding it, they're sitting in the point, they've got 1.5 minutes left, and they're not letting DasAnfall get in here. Smoke is being popped down, everybody gets back up. Maxes are immediately being rest once they go down.
And DasAnfall was trying their hardest. They had a medic who was people left and right, but he was not a max in the face. So
yeah, and MercenaryS is now just like they have the point. They're right there. They're now actually outside the building while DasAnfall is bringing in lightnings from the south. They can set them up on the hills to the south and, you know, start shooting at the...
dropping a huge crew of players right from their galaxy.
Oh, they are, yeah, I see them right here. They're coming along.
Out, but they have a whole squad of players who are climbing up the mountainside right now to drop some squad beacons down and get this point resecured for themselves, as well as NYC needs to start setting up defense here so that they can secure the area around the base rather than just holding only that A point.
Well, the thing is, they only need to hold it for another 25 seconds, and honestly, with those numbers on the point right now, this is going to be hard for DasAnfall, because they're coming for it, they're going for it, but 15 seconds? Are they really going to pull it off?
We saw this last week as well, where, you know, the opposing team never brought in any maxes to fight up against.
Yeah, and you need to bring in those maxes, because MCY just goes, well, we've got the maxes and we've got the base. 2-0
First points
for
on
MCY.
The board.
Putting up a little blue flag with some golden stars here for the EU boys in this base.
And they already have another lightning protecting the A point as well. The maxes are kind of taking up the ridge and trying to DasAnfall that are here. They do need to take out that squad beacon, otherwise they're going to continue to drop. DasAnfall needs to put more pressure on this point and try to take this back before NYC starts moving on to the next base.
Yeah, the thing is, of course, MCY is I keep saying MYC. MCY
yeah, I keep doing
is
that too.
MCY is, of course, extremely strong in defense. We know that. I mean, they know how to attack a base, but they're really, really hard to dislodge from a point. So at this point, I could actually see them being very methodical about this, and, you know, just kind of sitting on Chimney Rock for a little bit, seeing what DasAnfall can come up with, and then going from there. And I feel that DasAnfall actually has an idea, because there is a galaxy getting in a position that seems to allow them to drop any second now.
The DasAnfall crew is a little bit spread out. I feel like a few of them were dropped up on the mountainside, which was a little odd. And then they still have some crews that are running in from the other base. It looks like they're setting up a defense. They're putting they have a couple what their plan is here. Are they just waiting for mercenaries to come at them? They're like, come at us, bro.
Well, the interesting thing is that they are sitting there with their tanks, and the bridge is actually flipped to NC, and they were just waiting for the infiltrator to swip it to Vonu.
Yeah, now
So
they're
now
moving
they're moving over
bridge.
it, yeah.
And they also have their galaxy that's moving a little bit forward.
And they're gonna run straight into this Wraith Flash here. But he sees it, and he's like, nope, I'm not having any of that. No tanks on my roads, thank you. Going cross.
Looks like one of the lightning's going to divert and go around this, so they're not actually going to be supporting one another. And this is what I'm worried about. I'm worried about them getting too spread out, because we've seen that in the past going up against mercenaries, and mercenaries is like, what? Okay, we'll just take our huge wall of defense and come and like take you out.
Yep. The interesting thing is, though, that DasAnfall has decided to pull 5 Mag Riders, and they're now actually heading in the base. So one of the Mag Riders is going in by himself. They've got their,
yes,
their galaxy up above.
He just took out the lightning that was set up, and now they're pulling. Oh, there they go. There's the rest of their crew. They need some Sunderers to follow up with this Mag Rider crew so they can get some more spawns in here, though. We haven't seen a lot of armor. I mean, I guess the last couple of rounds, I guess in the regional finals, we've seen a lot of armor, but in the past we haven't. And it looks like DasAnfall is taking up the ridge at the top, and they're going to start bombarding the A point. They might drop down here. I wonder if mercenaries have any defense on the A point. Let's see. Engineer turret, yes, they have some maxes, they have some NGs. Ooh, they have like 2 NGs, 3 NGs per max. Always a great sight. DasAnfall's taking up the top of the building, surrounding it. I'm wondering when they're gonna make this massive push, if they're gonna all go into one door, if they're gonna try to toss some nades in. We saw from is they often threw in some EMP grenades and then made their way in. DasAnfall was able to take him out. Are there no medics on the A point? Oh, there is a medic. Okay, he's trying to revive them. Max is getting a little bit brave. He's rushing out. He takes down one of the DasAnfall crew. He's trying to take out another. He takes down 2. Light Assault's trying to do some little bit of damage from the top of the roof, but he's not unable to. He at least makes the Max get his way back into the base. We have some C4 being dropped at the doorways.
Apparently the German internet gods did not accept my offering of cutting my connection about an hour ago or so, and they decided, nope, 24 hours have passed, you must disconnect. So I'm logging back into the game now, while listening to your wonderful radio voice.
Mercenaries is just pulling out maxes a little bit. They're peeking out. They're trying to take out these infantry one at a time. Oh, he's getting really brave. He's following him. Oh, the medic is utilizing that crate to give himself a little... They're surrounding it with a Mag Rider, as well as they're bringing in a Sunderer. They're able to take out all of Mercenaries' crew members. Now they're going to try to flip the point, but are they unable to flip the point? Oh man, Mercenaries backhack them! Oh, let's see what's going on at Heyoka.
Yep, they sure backcap them. I'm actually going into that building right now, and Mercenaries, of course, first thing I see is a Max.
Yes, and they're squad beaconing, and this is the strategy that we've seen from them multiple times. They're consistently on the offensive, which is great for them. They're utilizing the top part of this base at the A point, which is something we've seen from all of the outfits in the last regional finals. No one really stood on the A point. I think it's because you have that bulwark of defense right at those 2 main doors, and you can utilize the staircase as a high ground in order to put engineer turrets, and you can actually just see the whole entire area. Really nice.
Yep.
And you have less doors to kind of defend yourself from.
And Mercenaries knows.
Smoke.
Mercenaries knows exactly when they have to stay in a base and when they need to move out of one, and this was a perfect example of that. Their timing on, staying in Chimney Rock and then going into Heyoka Chemical was just picture perfect. Like, there was nothing DasAnfall could do at this point.
And DasAnfall is having to pull back. I saw a bunch of their guys recalling. They're bringing in some maxes, but they're coming in one at a time. It looks okay. They're having a huge crew coming in from the top doors. They're making their way in. They have one guy who's coming down from the bottom, but he's not going to be able to do much with himself. Okay, there we go. They cleared out the top floor.
Yep.
They're coming in down to the A point.
And they actually have this wonderfully
placed
placed mag rider just outside here, just parking
one
the
max
mag rider.
versus like 5, 6 max. It looks like DasAnfall is able to resecure this with their max crash. They had like barely any support for these maxes. It was just a huge max crash. That also puts all of their maxes on cooldown, so remember that as we're moving into this next base.
Oh yeah,
so
they have all these maxes now. All these maxes, and they're just sitting there in the base, and they need to bring them somewhere else with their galaxy, which is why it's flying in super quickly right now. Like, look at that. All the maxes are going out on the road, and the galaxy is just like, let me pick you up, brethren.
Guys, we don't have a resource bot.
Okay, I'll put one down really quick.
She put it down. Now, at the same time, MercenaryS, of course, has to keep Chimney Rock from being attacked while they were busy with that. And they immediately went back onto point A. They're securing it, you know, like DasAnfall trying to drop in on it, maybe bringing in some spawn beacons, but it's not happening right now. Like, MercenaryS is just going, nope, this is working out.
That was a quick response on DasAnfall, though, to bring in the Galaxy and get those maxes picked up, though.
Yeah, but I mean, that is very, very important that they did that, because every second that those maxes are pretty much sitting there, you know, like they're not doing anything, they can't fill any other role, because you're very, very limited sitting in that max suit. Now, at the same time, they have 2 galaxies right now, so one of them will be filled to the brim with maxes. And I feel they're going to drop on Chimney Rock any second.
They already have some squad beacons placed as well, DasAnfall does. And they're bringing in their Liberator to kind of bombard the area before they go in. They're bringing in some more infantry point. They actually have quite a few heavy assaults as well. And a harasser up on top of the hill, which I don't think is manned.
Yeah, we've got 3 seconds left now. We've got, and Heyoka Chemical has just now been secured, so that means DasAnfall is now probably going to give the go to attack the base in full force.
Which is what they need to do. They are 2-0 right now. DasAnfall needs to get some points on the board, especially because they do not want to allow MercenaryS to start snowballing. Looks like they dropped the map.
At this point, DasAnfall actually destroying the terminals on the tech plant with their scythes, actually attacking the home base of MercenaryS right now. Very, very clever there, because, you know, they need those terminals, they need to be able to pull air and everything from there, and if they don't have them, they need to bring them back up, thereby binding resources in their home base where they're not helping defending Chimney Rock. Very, very clever play.
And that's also taking up an engineer's time to go in there and repair those as well, so that's a really smart move for some of their guys have to pull back and kind of be on that offensive. But it's always better to be on the offensive, keep your enemy wondering what's going on. It looks like they're getting the A point flick. There's one hero max trying to make his way to the A point from much friendliness. Nope, completely gets taken out. That was not the best move for him, but you know, he wasn't going to be able to take the point anyway because he's a max, so I'm not really sure why he rushed in by himself. That just puts him on cooldown.
Sometimes the max just has to get on the point.
Well, he wasn't going to be able to take out 2 squads worth of DasAnfall, and they just dropped in another squad, which I believe is their Charlie squad.
Yeah, he probably, honestly, at this point, maybe he already had another order and he was supposed to get out of the max anyway, so he decided, hey, maybe I can take a few of them with me. And, you know, now he's filling a completely different role here. What
I love about DasAnfall is that they utilize their Galaxy as a forward, continually bring it up to the forward base, kind of distract the enemy, make them hit him. I mean, he's really tanky. He just rushes back, repairs, comes back around, and I've seen this consistently from them back and forth. We've also seen that from MercenaryS, which we haven't seen that much. We've seen that. It looks like they're spawning in and they're bringing in quite a few maxes for MercenaryS. They're going to try to make a rush here. I think they're waiting for a few more people from their crew, but they're getting continually rocket potted by aircraft from DasAnfall.
And also the Galaxy, of course, with its bulldogs, very, very hard to take out of, very, very hard to deter, unless you know, immediately shoot it with rockets. And I feel that MercenaryS is not going to be able to properly push out of that building. I mean, they're setting down the smoke right now, but we can all agree that all of the airplanes in this have thermal equipped anyway, so they don't really care. And DasAnfall actually has PPA scythes, which is just the perfect thing you want right now. Because the moment they push out of that room, you've got Liberators on them, you've got PPAs on them, and you're just gonna melt whatever comes out.
What they do need to do is start setting up that forward defense on that bridge and taking over the area to the south so that mercenaries can't continually put the pressure on them in that sense. And they also, I mean, they're already utilizing their air, which is really great. Like you said prior to that. Oh, they're making a rush. It looks like mercenaries is making a rush to the A point. Klyka.
They really are making that rush, and they are already in the building, but getting in isn't the hard part. The hard part is flipping that point and staying alive, and they've already lost countless maxes. 3 maxes are down, 4 maxes are down, there's a single max left, 1 squishy. But, oh, here comes another Max's reinforcements. He's going to take out that VS Max pretty quickly, but DasAnfall is there. Got another Max. They've got 4 people on the point, and they're holding it. And Mercenaries lost all except for 1 infantry on the point. And I don't think they're going to get a revive grenade in here. Nope. They have to respawn at this point, leaving a DasAnfall with a nice cushy 1 minute 20 to defend the point. And that is pretty easily doable when, you know, when you're in a proper defensive position, which DasAnfall is setting up right now on that middle rock.
And what we saw from mercenaries right there is they had no support for any of those maxes. So they had no medics, no engineers. It was just a full max. I think they had like 1 support guy with them, which wasn't going to help them against all of those maxes. And DasAnfall also had some medics and engineers ready to help these guys and repair them and get them back up. So it just wasn't going to be a good matchup right there. It's something time and time again that we're always like, oh, engineers. And Mercenary is usually really great about that. I mean, normally I've seen them have 3 engineers per 1 max.
Yeah,
they're gonna try to make another rush here.
Their engineer max gameplay is very refined, but of course these are the world finals. This is against pretty much the hardest enemy they faced yet, and you know, like the nerves are just kind of they're going. You know, you can't have everything perfect right now, and I can understand that. And again, their maxes are going down. Yeah, this DasAnfall set up some wonderful mines there, and Mercenaries isn't getting in with their normal tactic. They're just not pulling it off right now.
Yeah, what I saw again was they had 4 maxes that kind of rushed in ahead of the rest of the crew, and the 2 that were ahead rushed into the A point, got completely obliterated. The one that kind of stuck back and waited for the crew got taken out right away, and the guys that were coming in, there was only 1 max for that buffer to tank all the to help the medics and the engineers tank that, and it wasn't going to go well for them. And it looks like we're at a 2-2. DasAnfall's able to take the point. Yeah.
We are. They really did that. And talking about taking out, with that, DasAnfall actually using their own maxes, they managed to take out the so touted wall of steel of the mercenaries 2 times in a row now, and that is something that no other outfit has actually managed before. Normally they would always just get crushed under the heels of NC maxes, but not this time. The VS Max is proving, yep, we're here too, and we can play the same game.
And DasAnfall's already making a forward front with their sights and their galaxy, and they're making that pressure that they need to be doing. They're even going back to the main base, which I'm guessing they're going to start taking out those turrets again like they did before, as well as the terminals.
They are.
What we got to see from them here is that these guys actually brought in a combined effort with synergy. You know, they had their maxes and they had support, which we haven't seen from other enemies that were fighting mercenaries in the past, which is really odd. A lot of people just rushed at them with heavies, which I thought was interesting. When I was watching the past matches, I was like, really, what's going on here?
I mean,
but
a good
it's cool
idea,
to see
but
it.
yeah. It's a good idea to, you know, bring in lots of heavies, but obviously just bringing in heavies, you're not going to take those out. Like, you're not going to kill all those maxes. But DasAnfall has definitely found a nice combination of what to bring in. But what I really love from them right now is just how they're using their air, because they're not just using it as, you know, like hunter killers, but taking out those terminals in the different bases, going all the way back like to the home base and taking those terminals out. That's just wonderful play, and I think that's really keeping Mercenaries on the toes.
Ooh, Mercenaries is striking the oppose with all of these Reavers. They are just taking out DasAnfall's air crew, and they're making the Galaxy have to pull back for repairs. They might even get it. I don't know. That Galaxy pilot is insane. He's consistently always up. He gets taken out by that Liberator, but the Liberator is going to go down as well. That is a
the other Galaxy actually
Galaxy.
takes them out. Amazing. Now, interestingly, MercenaryS is bringing in some vanguards and so on because, like, they didn't care about the air above their home base because they were currently pulling their own. So they're bringing in vanguards, and those vanguards are going to rush across that bridge, I feel, down the road, and are going to clash right into DasAnfall's two Sunderers.
So, Klyka, what's funny to me is that DasAnfall has this light assault who is kind of hopping around the top of the buildings and just harassing these poor infantry that are on the A point at Tumas Skylands. And he's already put down a squad beacon as well, but it looks like it's been spotted. A Reaper's going to take it out. One guy does get to drop off out of it. He's still alive. And we'll see how this goes for them. They do have two guys down. One of them is a squad leader.
Yeah, they've actually got multiple infantry on Tumas Skylands right now. Not a lot. I see like 2 or 3, and MercenaryS got quite a few defenders here. But as long as they're there, they're causing confusion, and MercenaryS has to be on their toe. But DasAnfall's 2 Sunderers they were trying to bring in, they're now actually running into the vanguards of MercenaryS, so they're not gonna live very long.
Oh no, and what I do love is that their maxes and their infantry are getting out and trying to help defend it, but
it's kind of like it's like a surprise act, like you've got some heavies in there, you've got some engines in there, and the moment your Sunderer gets endangered, you just kind of jump out, shoot some rockets, and start repairing.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it works, but when you have 2 lightnings and 2 vanguards coming at you, and you are just one lone Sunder with a couple infantry, it's not normally going to go in your favor unless someone's missing shots left and right. One of the vanguards is on fire, but I think he's going to be able to pull back and repair. That Max really wants the kill. He's getting greedy. He's just trying to keep these tanks at bay, but he's getting surrounded. It's not going to go well for him.
At the same time, we had a little drop from MercenaryS on Chimney Rock Depot, actually turning the point. DasAnfall already killed them, though. There were only 2 or 3. There's only a single MercenaryS left, maybe 2. So they flipped the point back, and it cost them about 30 seconds. But that does mean that DasAnfall couldn't get to Tumas Skylands, again putting them on the wrong foot here and giving MercenaryS a bit of an advantage here. Because as long as your point is not flipped, you always have this little disadvantage in your back, and you can't really go forward just yet.
And DasAnfall knows MercenaryS is bringing in an armor column, so they need to start countering that and figuring out what they're going to do. They already spotted a Sunderer from MercenaryS, and DasAnfall has just taken it out with their Liberator, which was a really good move for them. That was a quick death, too.
That was incredibly quick. I was actually surprised that the Sky Guards from MercenaryS weren't actually looking at all at that Liberator. And we've got a single DasAnfall engineer up on the big mountain to the west. And he's just kind of... Oh wait, it's not even an engineer, it's a... No, it is, of course. It's an engineer, and he's putting down his anti-vehicle turret, just kind of, providing a little sting here on the MercenaryS.
Yeah, the MercenaryS are trying to surround the base. This is really cool. I like watching, when you're watching an organized outfit like this where they're bringing in multiple different Sundies. This Sundie's going to go down. There's no way he's going to make it alive. But, or maybe he will. Who knows? It looks like the infantry are already on their way as well. But you watch them surround this base, and they're pulling in distractions. They're taking over the whole ridge here and trying to make that forward front onto this base. But, with infantry, but guess that's one way to do it.
It definitely is. I feel that MercenaryS are being quite defensive here right now, which is honestly defeats a bit of the purpose of what they're doing, because they should be really going for Chimney Rock at this moment. I feel that they're binding a few too many of their forces in those lightnings, like a few Sky Guards and some normal lightnings, and no Sunderers so far. I take it they don't actually have the people to pull it right now.
They did have Sunderers. They pulled up 2 Sunderers, got totally obliterated, and then they had a third one that also got taken out. What DasAnfall's aircrew is doing is they're continually just finding those Sunderers and taking them out left and right with those Liberator cannons, and it's just been working out really well for them, and not so well for MercenaryS. So they have been trying to pull some Sunderers, but they just haven't been able to get them close enough to the base. I do kind of understand the idea of taking tanks to this base, primarily because attacking Chimney Rock is really difficult. You have a 1 point, there's lots of terrain in between you and that A point, and having those tanks be able to surround it is really nice, but you gotta be quick. You can't just kind of like move up slowly one at a time. You kind of have to bring that whole armor column with you and make your way up to that point.
Yeah, that's true. And since DasAnfall has been putting lots of pressure on the capture point at Tuma's Skylands, mercenaries were not actually able to just, move out of there. So they were kind of sitting back a little bit. But that whole sitting back just means that if your Sky Guards are not really close to the Sundra, it just means a single Liberator flies at your Sundra, takes it out in 2 or 3 seconds, and, there it goes. You need to bring in a new one. And that's just something that mercenaries at this point, they just can't really do that. They need to have those Sundras moving, and if you pull Sundras, you need to bring them into the base as quickly as possible.
Indeed. And again, like you said, they're kind of sitting back on the defensive. And what's bad about this, mercenaries is back on the defensive. It's allowing the lovely, I don't know if you got to see this in the past, but I'm going to put my camera on it really quickly. DasAnfall has this amazing strategy that we've seen throughout. We got to see it in regional finals as well. They put a squad beacon down on the mountainsides, and they drop in some heavy assaults and some engineers, and they just completely keep just bombarding the area with either rockets or, their mana turrets, and they just take out these tanks who are like, what is hitting me? I do not know. And sometimes their air doesn't even catch them because they don't realize how far away they are.
Yeah, that is just wonderful. And I mean, that's something, of course, with the Lancers that you can just do. I mean, having this little Lancer squad just here and just shooting down from all the way, like, that's just beautiful.
So,
and
I do want to say that Ender kind of alluded to this because when we did the beginning intro questionnaire, he said, they're going to be playing some Team America, and we're probably going to see some lasers. So I think this is our laser show that he was foreshadowing for us.
Yeah, this is definitely the laser show at this point, and the mercenaries are not really bringing their vehicles past this bridge. They can't really. And the great thing with that setup, of course, up there on that mountain, is that DasAnfall can get very easily into Tuma's Skylands, which they've actually just managed, and they've captured the point, set it to neutral, and mercenaries had to take them out and capture the point back. So again, mercenaries can't really get a foothold closer to Chimney Rock at this point.
Yeah, and DasAnfall's continually taking in sites because they're so fast to take in and dropping out of them, putting down squad beacons and getting some guys in. Although mercenaries is being really fast about taking out those squad beacons, but I foresee a gal drop possibly in the future. Looks like DasAnfall has 2 galaxies coming in, and they're actually going to take the flanking route.
Yeah, and they've already got an
drop.
infiltrator. They've already got an infiltrator on the point. 2 people actually on the point. 1 light assault and an infiltrator, and they're capturing Skylands at the same time that mercenaries were actually getting close to point A at Chimney Rock, and DasAnfall was just quicker, and now mercenaries has to pull them off of this point. They need to kick them out of their base, and at the same time keep people at Chimney Rock to keep their offensive going. So this is going to be a hell of a lot interesting fight. Because if they don't manage to kick them off quickly, then their entire offensive at Chimney Rock is just going to stagnate.
Yeah, and in last week, or in the past weeks, just from DasAnfall in general,
they're doing it,
what we've seen from them is using that high ground, using those mountaintops, and also making a lot of pressure on the spawn points near A and taking over the top of the buildings. But they definitely got to secure that A point before they can start doing that and start defending the area. Which they're trying to do. They're trying to get air dominance as well, which is going pretty well for them. They have a bunch of galaxies, a Liberator in here, and a Scythe, and I'm sure the rest of their crew is going to be making their way here as soon as possible. There we go. We have a squad beacon drop. That is going to be the first
on Chimney Rock.
Push.
Yep, Chimney Rock is now in the hands of mercenaries, and they've got an entire squad sitting in this room, setting up turrets. They've got a max, bringing down mines and everything, and DasAnfall now has to do exactly the same thing that mercenaries just had to do. But here comes the air power, and that's going to be a lot of explosions on mercenaries' heads.
And this comes back to what we always are consistently saying. What happens? Do you send your full crew to go back in response? Do you keep that offensive defense and keep that pressure going on forward while you just send a few people back? It looks like DasAnfall is just going to have their... Actually, they're sending a whole bunch of crew.
Yeah, they are sending a lot of people. They are definitely sending a lot of people, but they have to, because Chimney Rock is just too important. If you lose Chimney Rock, it's much, much harder to retake than any other base.
Do you want to watch the...
I'm actually watching the inside right now, if you want to follow the outside push.
I just want to make sure the viewers get like the entire thing. It looks like they're pushing into the building.
Yeah, and DasAnfall has secured the point again.
Lost a couple guys in that major push, but they already have a bunch of medics and engineers to come in and repair and get people back up.
Yeah, but this is the point where like mercenaries have to push in so quickly. Like there should be a galaxy or something just right next to this point and dropping people in. There should be a galaxy flying around that can just kind of hover over and drop more people. Because DasAnfall just cleared up the point and they're just respawning. They're just respawning now. They're like, yep, secured the base. Let's respawn.
Well, it's hard to do that when DasAnfall has a Liberator, a Galaxy, and sites already at your home base. You know,
Very
like
true.
putting the pressure on.
Very
They already
true.
have squad beacons. They're dropping in their Charlie squad. Their Alpha squad trickling in slowly as they finish clearing up from Chimney Rock. Going to be able to take this A point shortly. I think they're just setting up a defense before they flip the base, which I think is kind of funny that they're like, let's just wait till our guy's here and then we'll flip it.
And this attack just now on Chimney Rock might actually be the attack that has broken mercenaries here, and it might actually cost them too much Skylands, because DasAnfall kicking them out of Chimney Rock, they've had all this open time. They had all the time, all the open terrain, no opposition at all to you know, go and take too much Skylands, and they're just sitting on it. They're capping it right now, and they are entrenched right here. And at the same time, mercenaries has to pull some air, get rid of DasAnfall's air, and they're kind of amassing in the spawn room, but they're on their back foot right now. They need to push out, they need to take the point. This is going to be very, very hard for mercenaries, and I feel that DasAnfall might actually be able to take the space.
I love the aggression from DasAnfall tonight. You know, in the past we've seen him say this. Ender was saying that you got to keep people, you got to be on the offensive, and you got to keep people questioning what your next move is. And I think that's a really great way to put it. We need more commanders thinking that way. You know, what he was doing is he had a bunch of sites on Tumas already, just like continually bombarding them right as they spawned those. Right as they spawn those Reavers. And it looks like they're going to try to make a max push, but they got spread out. There's 3 maxes trying to make their way to the
They're
A point.
so spread out right now, and DasAnfall is up on the roofs. They're everywhere. They've got mines everywhere. I'm not sure if those maxes without any support are really going somewhere. And again, mercenary maxes without support? What are we seeing here? That's not the mercenaries. That's not the mercenaries I know.
Usually we see 3 engineers per max, and tonight we are not seeing that. I'm a little worried about them in that sense. But from DasAnfall's side, this is strategically what we've seen them do in the past. They take these buildings that are forward front of the spawn room, they start taking the tops of them primarily so they can have that high ground advantage and elevate over them and just continually bombard them. And they can also see what's coming their way. They also have another infantry that's over by the spawn room, just kind of like spotting what's going on over there. And we're seeing mercenaries just trickle in one at a time with each of these maxes, and it's not going to do anything for them. They need to bring in a coordinated play.
They're trying to get them into this building to be safe from the air, and they have to run pretty much across, you know, like open space and get bombarded immediately. The problem is they don't have any medics right now to bring up any dead maxes. So any max that dies is kind of an a-hole right now. And also, of course, it's just, you know, DasAnfall sitting all the way up on those rooftops. The maxes can't actually get to them, so even if you get the maxes into that point, they're just gonna sit up there outside range of your shotguns and they're gonna shoot you with rockets. So this is actually the time where mercenaries should probably take something that's not a max and you know, try and clear out those rooftops, because otherwise it's just not gonna happen here.
Yeah, they need to bring in some air to clear out the rooftops if they can. But I know that
they're bringing in the
trying.
Galaxy. They have actually just dropped a max on the roof from the Galaxy, but that max is already under heavy fire, and it's not getting any repairs.
They're flipping the point. They also have some armor that are coming in, which is going to really benefit them. But they need to get that armor to the south side and not to the north side there, because they're just kind of holding back. But it looks like they're trying to take out the air. I believe they have some sky guards. Is that what's on these?
Yep. Mercenaries actually managed to bring in a Galaxy filled with 3 or 4 maxes and drop the maxes on the point. That's wonderful. That was a wonderful play by Mercenaries there, because they knew they were at the disadvantage, and they just said like, nope, we're bringing in the Galaxy, and they completely turned it on the head and dropped the maxes on the point.
That was a perfect move for them. And they also brought in 4 sky guards along with them in order to suppress the air and push the air back that was kind of dominating that area and allowing those infantry to continually just take over the point. But DasAnfall still has quite a few infantry up. As I said, their whole Charlie squad just died to maxes.
Yeah, they do, but Mercenaries is on the point. They've got maxes there, they've got medics and engineers. This is going to be very hard for the few DasAnfall troops to try and flip this point, and I feel that they actually did just get kicked out of this base.
Torkz, can we get a timer? What is the time left on this match? I'm just curious. what the strategy here is, because when you get closer to the time, sometimes it's better for you just to defend and not let the enemy kind of take the point.
30 seconds.
Or about 8 minutes. So they still have time to be on the offensive. So
Yes.
that's okay.
And look
But
at that
sometimes when you
Liberator.
get down to that
Look
little
at that
bit of
Liberator
time-
right now for DasAnfall.
Okay,
He just flies
where is
up
he at?
right next to 4 Sky Guards. Like, I've got him in the camera. He just flew up directly next to, like, almost on the ground, next to 4 Sky Guards and almost killed one of them. He does not care. He's just like, hey, you want to see how strong a Liberator is? I can take all 4 of you and not even care.
Alright, I'm seeing, you know what, they're going to start doing, I think they're going to put that squad beacon down again, and they're going to try to drop some guys on the point. Yep. They're going to drop some guys back on that mountain ridge again, so that they can get that Lancer crew with the little laser show. So we're going to see another laser show here, probably some engineer turrets as well, but I think they've already been spotted, and there's a counter engineer turret, so we have an engineer turret and an engineer turret. I love that MercenaryS knows the strategy, so they're already countering it with their own.
And the guys in their tanks, by the way, are amazing shots with the tank cannons. Like they've been like sniping at these guys up on the hill very, very well here. Sadly, that mercenary Sundra is not going to come very far against the Lancers and the
No,
anti-vehicle
he's
turret
backing
depot.
out. And the lightning's just getting, yeah, he's completely destroyed. The Sunder's like, GTFO. I'm... So let's...
Here comes DasAnfall though, with a Galaxy flying directly over Tuma Skylands, and they dropped out. Definitely are dropping out some people here.
Yep, and they're getting supremacy
Well,
in the air. They
They're
have
flipping
quite
the
a few.
point. They're flipping the point when they get close to it, because MercenaryS mostly has maxes
Ooh.
on here, and DasAnfall brought maxes of their own, or at least one max that I can see. And this is
They have
this
two
is
maxes.
going to be a heated
they have
fight.
some engineers. They're pushing in from one of the doors. They're taking the high ground with the staircase and the railing.
Yep, and then MCY on the point was actually taken out just now. And DasAnfall's flipping the point back. Here come the rest of MCY's forces. Max with him. Some normal soldiers. Max taking out quite a few DasAnfall people. Not looking
DasAnfall able
good.
to get the revives out. But
Not
that
looking
Max
good for
is-
MercenaryS right now.
Oh man, no, MercenaryS is taking the railings, and they're taking out the crew that was sitting on top of that giant cannon. They completely took them out.
DasAnfall
but
is
DasAnfall's
still
bringing in
here.
another crew.
Yeah, they're still bringing in another crew. They got another max on the point, multiple normal infantry, about 3 or 4
They got
of
a
them.
medic that's reviving the
Yup.
fallen. Ooh, but the medic just got taken out. Where is that medic getting taken out
that's very, very important that MCY managed to do that. And MCY
Yeah.
has a lot of
the
infantry
Max
in this
is
space.
sniping the medics. He's trying to get the medics down first. We're seeing a bunch of smoke. I believe that's from MercenaryS. Usually they're known for their smoke.
Yeah, DasAnfall would not use smoke at this point, I think. Oh, and here comes here comes a suicide MCY heavy trying to C4 a VS Max. And the Max dies before he can do anything, and he dies himself. So there's just now a Max lying on top of C4. MercenaryS did manage to secure the point, though. I don't think DasAnfall is gonna drop their Galaxy at this moment again.
This building's very hard to like move the camera around. I'm like, oh, there's so many things. But yeah, they were able to resecure that. That was really intense. Because they both teams were just like trickling in guys, so it was like this 4v4, 4v4, 4v4 nonstop. That MercenaryS Max just sniping those medics, that was a really good move for him, because if he wouldn't have done that, the medics would have been able to keep snowballing that crew. So there's probably another Sunder in the West Hall. There is. DasAnfall is usually, I think every outfit utilizes that west building in order to, or that east building, is this west? No, it's west.
Oh, they sure do, but Chimney Rock Depot, by the way, has fallen in the hands of MCY again, who managed to drop a single squad leader on the point, but he just got taken out by DA soldier, and the point is flipping back.
And DA
MCY
is bringing
isn't-
back their galaxies. So this is like always the calm before the storm, but even before that, DasAnfall's already making pressure. But now we're seeing their galaxies are going to come back around. They continually do this. They have one that comes in straight forward, and then they have another galaxy that comes around the mountainside, and then here he comes around.
MCY has 4 soldiers, or 5 soldiers in Chimney Rock right now.
Ooh.
But getting taken out quite quickly here by this one light assault.
And DasAnfall's got one guy on the point near A at 2 Moss Skylance, but he hasn't made an effort to take the point yet. I think he's waiting for his crew, or maybe a squad beacon timer.
He actually
He's not a
can't
leader.
take it because MCY is on the point at Chimney Rock yet again.
Yes!
Yep, they've taken, and DasAnfall is gonna do their usual thing. They're like, whoop, here comes the Galaxy, gonna drop all those guys down, and while, you know, shooting the building. And I'm on the inside here, gonna see what happens.
He was kind of a little drunk sway.
Yep, that Galaxy just dropped a few people, DA spawning on it. Oh, this is so hard sitting in this building. You're just getting bombarded. Grenades are flying in, then you throw grenades against the wall and hit yourself with it, apparently.
Yeah, and there's continually grenades. But what we see from mercenaries is they are trying to stay up against the walls so that they don't get hit as hard. And their medics trying to revive and toss revive grenades out.
At this point, by the way,
coming in and clearing out 2 enemies.
At this point, by the way, I have to say that it seems like the DA infantry is just that little bit stronger than the MCY infantry. It's like when you see how a DA soldier goes in there and takes out 2 people before he dies, it's pretty hard to fight against that. And now they're bringing in the Maxes, and they're bringing in everything. I mean, like, VS outside there, they're just like hovering around this building. Anything that comes out gets killed, and they're gonna get ready for a little rush, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a bunch of smoke being placed down. There are a few mercenary stragglers that are outside of the base, and I believe they're just squad beaconing down, but now the squad beacon is dead. And they're trying to make their way back to the point. They did take out a couple soldiers and a Max.
All of mercenaries just got taken out by that Max in the smoke. And this is the point where, like, they need to keep it up, you know, like they need to keep going in. They can't just have everybody sitting in that one building. They need to bring in spawn points and such at the same time. Because DA, they can go in there with like half their forces. They don't care because they have air superiority.
Yep. We see that mistake happen a lot. I think Kid Riot brought it up last week during the regional finals while we were watching mercenaries, and he was saying, you know, this is the time they need to get all of those infantry out of that A point, start taking over the area with vehicles, and we just did not see that from them, and we're not seeing that from them tonight either.
No, we're definitely not, which I'm actually a little bit weirded out by, but we'll see what the second half brings.
And looks like DasAnfall's dropping down their gal, getting some repairs, and they're gonna start. What I love about this is even though they're doing all that defensive stuff, they always have some air that's just putting pressure on them at their forward base, as well as a couple infantry.
Oh, here comes another Galaxy drop on Tuma Skylands yet again. Yep, DasAnfall bringing in their guys. Flying in their scythes really close to them.
Yeah.
Quite sure
like
what those scythes are
wobbling.
doing. Just landing their scythes at this point.
Now they're like, screw this. We're just gonna stand here, take the bombardment from the spawn room.
Yep. They really want to take this base though. They've like with their 2 Sunderers up there.
All right,
they
guys,
want to
that's
take
the end of the first half.
Oh, and they actually
you want to give a
take it.
You want to give a broadcast out, Maggie? It's all you, and now it's Al and Hamma again.
That is a tie 2-2-2. Oh my goodness, and that is round 1. Take it away,
into
Hamma.
the half tide. Nice. So I'm not sure. Al? Hamma, are you there?
Oh, yes, hello. Well, that was a rather fantastic first half, wasn't it? We first saw the mercenaries just snatch away the chimney rock from DasAnfall. They say, first few minutes, it's like, okay, let the Vanu cap that for us. Oh, well, 2 minutes up. Okay, we'll take that off you. Thank you very much. Then they pushed up to chemical, and it looks like the mercenaries were going to just steamroll DasAnfall. It's like, oh my god, this can't be happening. Then DasAnfall outmaxed the max outfit and just annihilated them out of the chemical, pushed back to Chimney Rock, and another rare thing is that they took Chimney Rock back. This isn't even the first round. I say we've only seen this before in the European final between INI and mercenaries, and it's lovely to see this again. Very, very good fight. And DasAnfall went all the way over to Skylance and put the pressure on all the time, but the mercenaries just kept sneaking back to Chimney Rock, put in a small force, but it's not big enough, so DasAnfall would just shove them out again, and back and forth, back and forth. Absolutely fantastic match. So I can't wait for the second half. This is really, really fun to watch. I hope you guys are enjoying it too, because I sure am.
Yeah, it was very interesting. There was, you know, at the very beginning, it looked like it was a lot of back and forth. But it seemed like as time went on, DA was actually able to throw MCY off quite a bit from kind of what they're normally used to doing. And we ended up seeing, I think DA looked a lot more organized throughout most of the match. They were much quicker to respond to a lot of the different attacks, and they were not going in one at a time. We saw MCY doing a lot of one at a time type of attacks, and as we know, that usually doesn't work out very well.
Yeah, we've not seen this massive wall of steel that we're so used to for seeing from the mercenaries. They just came in piecemeal, just trying to get to the point, like usual little puppies on a live server, just desperately trying to get the point back. But I don't know. I don't know if they're like panicking a little bit, or say just DA just throws them off. Like those sneaky little AV nests with the lancers up on the mountains, just shooting down at them constantly. That must have really wound them up, something chronic. But yeah, DA definitely looks. Yeah, DA definitely looks like they've got the momentum. So very first thing, I thought the mercenaries had it because they just walked in. They're just like bang, bye DA, and just like marched off to chemicals, thinking, oh god, it's going to be one-sided. But no, DA definitely got their stuff back together, and yeah, it's been a fantastic match. I wonder if it's going to be the same next time, because I'm hoping the mercenaries like take a few minutes to get themselves together and get those big max pushes that we've seen and loved before.
Yeah, like every other time, it's always interesting to see if they're going to come back in the second round and kind of change up what they were doing. I think that DA was able to throw MCY off quite a bit and threw them off of whatever they were planning on doing. I think that's probably what we saw. They probably had a plan going in, and DA did something they weren't expecting, and it seemed like it really put them off for kind of the last half, at least, of that first round. So, and as you mentioned, those guys up on the mountain there shooting down, that actually stopped quite a few offensives from being able to make it across the Chimney Rock.
Almost definitely. I think mercenaries have a very simple plan. It works almost 99% of the time, but as soon as something off happens, it just goes off the rails. And DasAnfall are very good at doing the off thing, like we've mentioned before, the nests in the mountains and suddenly maxes everywhere. I just love the fact they've outmaxed the max outfit. That is really kind of special. But yeah, I'm hoping they take this in their stride, get back together, and we see that big hammer fist we're used to.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see, as always, in the second round. I actually just put up a poll in the chat. Go ahead and vote for who you think is going to take this matchup now that we've come about halfway through. Be sure to vote in that. Let us know what you think.
Oh yes, I'm pretty sure chat will tell us what they think. Won't you, lads?
So as we started, actually, I put the poll up at the very beginning of the match, and pretty much everybody said mercenaries was going to win. I think it was like 55% or something. Now it's kind of even. Or sorry, it was about 85% mercenaries when I first put it up, and now it's almost even, the poll, that is. So
yes, it should be fun to watch. So I wasn't sure who would take the upper hand here. I say it's still 2-2, so it's anybody's game. But say DasAnfall are very, well, say sneaky. They're just like have more tactics up their sleeve. They've got more consistency plans. They've got more of a grip of the entire battlefield. Mercenaries just hit things with hammers. So they're very good at hitting things with hammers, but that's more or less their entire game plan. But yeah, hopefully we'll see that hammer blow again. I think We can play some music now? Or unless you've got something else to say, Hamma?
I've got nothing else. Yeah, let's go ahead and go to a short
Mm.
halftime.
Ooh, well, welcome back to the grand finale of the PS2 community clash between DasAnfall and MercenaryS. We switched sides now, so the NC are now Hyoka, that's MercenaryS, and DasAnfall, in the fabulous purple, are back at Tunis. Will this change things? Currently, we're at 2-2. It's a draw. DasAnfall have the advantage so far in the first half, but they didn't quite capitalise it to break the stalemate. However, right at the beginning, MercenaryS were very aggressive and smashed all the way up to Chemical. Can they do it again? Let's find out. Hamma, what's your feelings?
Well, I'm not really sure. It's going to be interesting to see if they change up their tactics. What DasAnfall was doing last round was working pretty well for them, so it definitely will be interesting to see if they decide to change things up or if they decide to stick with what they were doing. Or I'm at a loss. I'm not really sure what they're going to do, so it's going to be real interesting to see.
It's going to be fantastic to watch whatever happens. I say it's 2-2. Will it go to 7 death? Be a shame to it to end like that, but it's a possibility. But still, whatever happens, it's going to be absolutely fantastic to watch. I guess I will have to ask Klyka what he thinks about it.
Well, what I think is that we're just 30 seconds off from the second half, and I'm actually thinking that MercenaryS is going to show us a very, very different game, because in the first half, they've pretty much ran into an opposition they have never had to face with DasAnfall, and I feel that they have learned from it. They've took the last few minutes in the break to adapt, and I feel that we're going to see them approach things very, very differently, especially in the air, I'm actually thinking. And seeing how the match is about to start exactly now, we'll find out, won't we?
And DasAnfall is quickly taking to the air and bringing in quite a few sites and their galaxy.
Yeah, and MercenaryS actually have 2 galaxies. They pulled a second one, and they have one in the very beginning, and he just dropped down a single soldier into Hyoka Chemical, who is hacking the bridge, actually. Because the bridge was
DasAnfall's
apparently
already
still,
on
yes.
the point. They are flipping the A point at the moment.
Yeah,
They have
MercenaryS
one guy.
is bringing in MercenaryS is bringing in 2 Sunderers from Hyoka Chemical right now. They still have a galaxy up in the mountains, and they're keeping the reavers back. I don't think they want to lose their reavers like they did in the first half.
So quick. They had 2 guys that dropped in with their sights immediately. One took the A point, the other hacked the terminal, immediately pulled a Sunderer. They already have a Sunderer on the A point. They have another Sunderer coming in from their base, and they are pulling it up on the other side of the base. So now they have a northern and a southern Sunderer.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's been
the thing.
spotted by the Reavers from MercenaryS.
That's the great thing about spawning in the southern half, because if you spawn at Tumas Tech Plant, you have quite the advantage on this lane, because the way to the base and the way that you approach it is just a lot easier than it is coming from Hyoka. That's why how they could get everything in there so quickly. But MercenaryS are no slouches either. They've got two Sunderers set up right now. One of them is going to move directly towards the A building, and the whole time the air fight is just raging on against the base, above the base. And right now, I actually feel that the Reavers are winning this, and most of the A's air actually seems to be down.
Yeah, they're kind of pulling back a little bit. They're working together in threes, it looks like. They're trying to take out what they can. Oh my gosh, there's collisions going on.
Oh yeah, there's collisions. Now at the same time, while you're watching the air game, I'm down here on the ground at point A, and MercenaryS brought in their Sundra, which is quickly, of course, being exploded by C4, because, you know, everybody has C4 in Community Clash, and the moment you bring any vehicle close to a building, you're just kind of asking for it to get blown up. But MercenaryS did manage to get a spawn beacon down, immediately got taken out by DasAnfall, though, and DasAnfall they've got mines up, they're sitting on the point, they've got a max there. And all that MercenaryS really has is a galaxy high up above the building.
Yeah, they're doing high altitude drops, which I've noticed. What happened in that beginning of that air fight was that no one had respect for one another. It just became a mass, like, just chaos going on. People colliding. What happened for DasAnfall in general is that they got spread out because they left their galaxy alone. They kind of some of their guys moved forward, some of them moved backwards. They kind of got a little bit distressed, but they were able to take over quite a bit of it. But MercenaryS still has that galaxy, high altitude dropping infantry.
Yeah, and they've actually got a second galaxy moving in right now from a Yoka Chemical, which I'm pretty sure they just filled up with Maxes, because, you know, that's the only reason why they would park their galaxy there and have it fill up with people instead of just having them spawn in there. And they do have one Max moving in on point A. They've got a few people there, but DasAnfall just took out their Max. And
MercenaryS is using their galaxy to bombard the A point, try to take out some of these infantry. He doesn't have a really great angle, but he has a little bit of angle where he can take out some of the infantry here. And it looks like they're dropping some infantry as well. I haven't seen any max drops.
It's also a spawner. Well, the galaxy isn't actually
here we
moving
go.
in yet.
They're dropping some infantry.
Yeah, here they come, and the Liberator's above it too. Yep, and here come the drops. Only 2 people though, it seems. No maxes?
Meanwhile,
DasAnfall
has about 3 maxes on the A point from their Charlie squad, a couple support from their Alpha squad, and they're getting a little distressed. Some of them are coming out of the A point and trying to revive these other
MercenaryS is not getting on that point quickly enough. They only have 35 seconds left, and they're not actually doing what they should be doing, which is getting close to that point and trying to kick DasAnfall out. I'm gonna sit outside.
Watch outside.
Yes, I will. Where outside I see MercenaryS getting blown up quite heavily. With 20 seconds left on the point, they won't be able to get anybody close to there. They've got a Sundra parked very, very far away. That's a long way. They've got no galaxies that can bring people in. They've got no spawn beacons. And that's 10 seconds left on the timer. MercenaryS will not be able to get close to that at all. That's a capture for DasAnfall right there. That brings them to 4-2.
That's gonna be 4-2. That puts them in the advantage. That's really good for them. That was great aggression. That was a great first play for them, putting in 2 of their guys from the sites down on the ground, 1 taking the A point, 1 hacking the terminal and pulling out Sunders, keeping that spawn flow coming in. Even though MercenaryS had that galaxy up top, they're dropping a couple of guys trickling here and there. Most of their guys were dedicated to the air, so they were able to hold that point.
Yeah, and I'm quite unsure why they loaded up a galaxy at Yoka Chemical and then kind of only dropped 2 people out of it, but doesn't matter right now because here comes MercenaryS with a counter push. Because DasAnfall, they used their Sovereign starting point to take this base just like MercenaryS did in the first half, but now it's on MercenaryS to try and take the point back. But I'm not quite sure if they can pull it off. They're losing a lot of people left and right here, and there's no medics.
But DasAnfall only has
grenades.
1 max and 2 infantry that are on the point. They're completely getting obliterated. The max is still alive. He's trying to take out
max
as many
comes in for MCY.
MCY has 2 maxes. They're pulling in some engineers, trying to repair these guys. There's smoke everywhere. I think they're going to be able to flip this point. Yeah, they have the 1 max is still alive and 2 support that are trying to repair him. Another max in the building and another engineer in the back, and they're going to hold this A point. But it doesn't look like they can flip it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they've already done a back cap on a Yoka Chemical. Oh, well, back cap, I say. They pretty much just attacked a Yoka Chemical and already capped it for like 30 seconds. At the same time, MercenaryS is already spawning there and going to try in a massive force to kick them out.
Wow, the aggression from DasAnfall tonight. I don't know, they ate their Wheaties, but because they're just on it. MercenaryS is trying to in their base. They're pulling in some maxes. They're utilizing their smoke again. They're getting back onto the A point.
They're flipping the point right now. DA does not have enough people right here to push them back. They just dropped in some people from the galaxy though, but if DA can get into a defensive position right now, they can kill them as they come into the building. I hope they figure it out that they're coming in from the top.
Yeah,
they did manage to flip
that was
the point.
Quick, and because I mean they already have the squad beacons down. They're bringing in their air that's continually bombarding the area like we have seen in the past. Wow, that was quick.
At the same time, is MercenaryS, are they still on the point at Chimney Rock? Because I see a few of them there, but I'm not quite sure if DA is going to
Let me go check that out while
off.
you're hanging out over here.
Oh, and DA is now pushing in from the top stairs. They're going to push on Yoka Chemical's point.
They still have 2 maxes on the A point at Chimney Rock, Klyka. And a couple infantry. Looks like they have some engineers. I wonder if they're putting... We've known them to put down squad or tank mines.
Yeah.
But they haven't been doing that
at this
today.
point, what MercenaryS is doing is incredibly smart. They just literally, they now capture the point. I take it Chimney Rock is flipping right now.
Yep, it's flipping right
Yeah,
now. They only,
so-
like I said, they only have 2 maxes and a couple engineers here.
Yep.
I don't see them hacking the terminal and pulling a Sunder yet.
At this point, MercenaryS has pretty much taken most of their defenders out of Yokohama Chemical because they just don't need them anymore, while every single DA soldier who's at this base right now cannot help with Chimney Rock. So I feel that the fight is now going to immediately move to Chimney Rock, and I already see
MercenaryS put
fighting
down a
going on above
squad
the base.
beacon. They are kind of looking around the area. And DasAnfall has a Sunderer that they grabbed and some squad beacons as well. And they're pushing in with a couple infantry. I don't know what they're going to be able to do here because I don't think one guy's going to be able to take out all of them. But I'm going to sit here on the A point and we'll see what ensues.
Yep. So what is DasAnfall doing right now in the air? Because I see them bringing in a Galaxy and a Liberator from their tech plant, but I don't actually see that many sites. One of them just got shot down, and it seems that right now MercenaryS actually control the air over Chimney Rock, and we know how important that is.
I'm not sure. They have some guys back at Tumon Skylands. It looks like they're pulling some Mag Riders as well. I don't know what happened to their air dominance. It looks like a lot of their infantry are pulling in. They even have some of their air crew coming in here to defend A and take this back.
We have a little Liberator battle going on and the Galaxy. That's the only air I can see for DasAnfall right now. At the same time, it does seem, though, that DA is actually flipping the point at Chimney Rock.
Yep.
Yep, they're doing it. MercenaryS doesn't have enough infantry here. They're sending in a few, but they're not coming with enough. And DasAnfall has a lot of people on that point, and they managed to flip it. Actually, I'm gonna go in.
Yeah, they were able to get it flipped. The Liberators that MercenaryS is bringing in, which I'm loving that they're bringing in some air. We didn't get to see a lot of that in round 1. They're bringing in some Liberators, and they're able to take down and kind of snipe out some of these infantry that are trying to make their way to the A point. I'm not sure if they're going to do another drop, but it looks like they're also taking over the mountainside and trying to take out some of the tanks. They're putting some squad beacons down, so I feel like we're going to see a big drop from them. Yep. They're already dropping a bunch of troops onto the mountainside. They're going to try to make their way to the A point.
Yeah, they have to, and they have to attack it from this close. They've got those 2 spawn beacons up to the north in the mountains, meaning they can at least drop in close to it. But at the same time, they're kind of getting just stuck a little bit. Yeah, they're spread out. They're getting stuck coming from the Sundra. With the Sundra, they have to run around those rocks, and they're running directly into DA infantry that's coming fresh out of the spawn room. And at the same time, they're just trickling in on the capture point right now.
But DA does not have as many troops to counter this, so I think MercenaryS could possibly take this A point if they make a rush for it.
It's hard. DA does have that max right there, and MercenaryS is pushing in, but that one max alone is going to take out multiple. Oh well, no, it just gets killed by Suicide Heavy. Wonderful, max is down. The MercenaryS rushes in the point. Here goes to infantry fighting, and MercenaryS takes point. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, the major thing was DasAnfall did not have a lot of
off.
infantry on that point. They only had a couple guys, and MercenaryS had a huge crew of people coming down the mountainside. But to counter that, DasAnfall's already bringing in partial of their alpha
there's
crew.
some Mag Riders there.
The Charlie's going to help out too, and their Mag Riders coming around, surrounding the building onto one side of it, while the infantry are coming onto
Mag
the other
Rider's
side.
going to get C4'd. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, that light assault on top of the building.
Now let's hope that MercenaryS right now, by the way, does not just sit in the building completely, because as far as I'm aware right now, they still have air superiority. I don't really see any bombardment from DasAnfall right now, so they don't want to sit in that building. They want to defend it as far away as possible. And DA already bringing in yet another max. I love that we're seeing dual max play here. We're seeing NC maxes, we're seeing VS maxes just utilized to the max, and you can shoot me afterwards for that fun.
They are taking the initiative. Love this. They need to do that. With a 4-2, they need to get points back on the board. So I love that they're using their Galaxy to help support them at this A point. They already have a Sunder up as well. They're utilizing a lot of their Liberator power, which we need to see them do more of. They're consistently taking out these infantry that are trickling and making their way to the A point, and they're actually getting out of the building, which we've said consistently they need to do. They need to get more armor around this and air around this so that they aren't stuck on that A point.
Yep.
But
they
meanwhile,
also don't seem...
DasAnfall's
Sorry,
bringing a huge infantry crew from their Alpha and Charlie squad. Let's see if they can make it there without getting killed by these Liberators.
Oh, and we all know how hard it is to not get killed by Liberators hovering directly above you, especially if you're just a bunch of squishies. But DA doesn't have those spawn beacons up on the mountain anymore. I hope that they're gonna reset them soon, because those spawn beacons really help them.
There
They've
you
got
go.
one
I see a
spawn
beacon coming down.
Yeah, they've got one spawn beacon right next to the building, but obviously, you know, that dies super quick. And here comes a harasser.
Yeah,
PBA harasser. Just rushing in.
Oh, and they're getting some infantry pushing into the A point. Let's see how this goes. I'm getting in there.
Oh, that was great. The harasser is literally, the driver just jumped out directly and just left the gunner inside. And he just took them out while the heavies were focusing on trying to take out the harasser. And DA now actually strong in this building. And
yeah,
MCY
it was
losing the point.
Yeah, it was no problem from them. They only had 2 infantry at the A point. DA came in with that huge crew of infantry, took them out. A max from MercenaryS tried to make their way back into the building, but was unable to do much. A couple of their infantry are trying to trickle back in, but this is not something you're going to be able to oppress there or suppress.
MercenaryS now in a very heavy disadvantage because DA set up a Sundra directly to the south.
They still have beacons down on the other side of the mountain, though. MercenaryS does.
Yeah, but right now DA can just outspawn them thanks to that Sundra very easily, and they are focused entirely on that building.
Yeah, the Mag Rider already possibly spotted it, or the infantry are. Yeah, there's one lone Max. Oh, he's all alone.
MercenaryS is regrouping at their tech plant as we speak.
Ooh, are they gonna do a galaxy drop, or what are you thinking they're gonna do over there?
I'm not quite sure. Right now it just seems that their infantry is regrouping. They seem to be pulling reavers because they want to keep that air superiority. That's very important always. I don't see them pulling a galaxy just yet. Yeah, because right now it's all reavers we're basically seeing. I mean, they do have like still 1 minute on Chimney Rock Depot, you know, before anything can even be done to Heyoka Chemical. So they can use that 1 minute for
quite a few sites in the air, and they're advancing onto Heyoka Chemical. They also have a Mag Rider, I think, that's going to start supporting the Sunder that's making their way to Heyoka as well to provide them some forward spawn as they resecure Chimney Rock. There's a air battle going on? No, it's just... Yep, they're spotting these sites. The sites are kind of keeping them at bay. They're kind of respecting each other. I'm liking it now. We're getting a little bit more respect in the air. No one's really... We're seeing the first exchanges between a Reaver. The Reaver took the first shots. Now he's backing out.
Yeah, MCY being very careful here. Very careful. I like that. That's a good approach they're doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, the first initial fight, we did not see any respect from them, so it's interesting to see that now.
Yeah, right now they're moving just in a full-on formation, like a flight formation. Seeing them on the mini-map, it's actually like a nice bunch.
Oh, here they come down.
You keep an eye on that air battle.
Yeah, it looks like they are focusing on the galaxies. They took out a couple of the sites. A Reaver just I think they just collided with one another. I want to note that one thing that we didn't mention yet is that DasAnfall's but their preferred side faction is NC. We didn't mention that, so they know a lot of the strategies that you're going to utilize as an NC soldier.
Yeah, that's really important to know. I mean, if you don't know your enemy, you can't beat them easily. And DasAnfall knows. And DasAnfall is also knows what to do, and that is go into Heyoka Chemical, where they're flipping the point right now. But MCY, they knew about this. Like, the moment Chimney Rock got safe for the VS to move on, they knew that DasAnfall would go to this base, so they're already spawning defenders here. They've got the air. And I'm not quite sure that DA is able to hold this base for that long.
Mercenary obliterated the air. They completely took over, killed all the sites, all the Liberators, all the galaxies. They were able to completely clear it out. They definitely had the air dominance. DasAnfall had to go back, so they are pulling some Liberators, some galaxies, some sites now, but they had to pull back a little bit. I'm surprised that MercenaryS didn't take advantage of that, but I guess they had to go back and resecure, so that's why.
MCY just resecured just now with just a few people kicking DA out. That only cost them 10 seconds, and those guys can just immediately respawn and move on to Chimney Rock.
And the Reavers are putting some forward pressure on the sites that were kind of trying to hold down Chimney Rock. Let's see what's going on at the A point. It looks like DasAnfall's still holding that, and they're still trying to make pressure with this little tiny armor column that they have going. I guess they're trying to use those sky guards to take out the air instead of bringing their own air, which is surprising for DasAnfall because usually we see them counter air with air.
MercenaryS still very, very focused on Hyoka Chemical right now. Moving in one Sundra towards Chimney Rock, but spawning another one at Hyoka and having one set up there, which, you know, makes sense because you want to spawn there really quickly. But not quite sure what DasAnfall is doing right now.
Yeah, they lost one of their sky guards. The Mag Rider did try to go help and support, and so did the Liberator, but they lost it even at that. But they did take out one of MercenaryS Liberators as well to counter that, but they're just getting bombarded and separated a bit here. They're trying to make a huge armor push, trying to get these Thunderers in. So they have 2 Thunderers that are up on the road. They're bringing in some sky guards to help support it, as well as another Thunderer. So, yeah. So I want to mention that DasAnfall in the past has been known for their repair Sunday crews, but we haven't seen that. So I was thinking that's what we were going to see here with the 3 Sundays, but they didn't utilize that yet.
No, I think that's because right now the Liberators are just very overwhelming at all, and even if you have 3 repair Sundaras, those Liberators can take you down incredibly quickly. So, you know, like that's something which you really have to think about.
What just happened? MercenaryS has 1 Sunday, and it was surrounded by a Mag Rider, a Sunday, and a Lightning, but they just like left him alone, and then they killed him later. But like they looked like they were surrounding him, just circling him, and then they left him alone, and then they killed him. It was just I don't know if they're teasing him or what.
Sometimes the lion likes to play with his prey before
All right,
pouncing,
here their armor column comes. I'm just really shocked that DasAnfall is just pulling an armor column. We saw this on the Esamir lane, which made a little bit more sense, but I guess I could see this working here. There are a lot of trees. There's a long distance between this base and the next. And they do want to get some Sunderers in. The
problem they have, though, is they're moving in that armor column on Hyoka Chemical, and that is actually the wrong base, because MercenaryS are already flipping the point at Chimney Rock. But they left up that DA Sundra, and it takes them, it's taking them quite a while to actually C4 it. They still haven't C4 it yet. DasAnfall can just spawn on there. It's smoking now. It needs like one more shot from a Bulldog, or for the Basilisk, which is actually happening right now. There we go, it's down. And MercenaryS took the point. So with that, DasAnfall has to do the usual thing, where it's like, let's fall back and defend this base.
Which shouldn't take them too much time. They just need to get rid of that Sunder. There's 1 max on the point. No other infantry yet. They're trying to bring in a max versus max. There's a max versus max battle going around here. They're trying to utilize the crates. There's also an infantry coming in here. And MercenaryS
MCY Sundra driving over Skyguard.
They're able to drop down the tank. He found the DasAnfall soldier found the infiltrator that was in here.
MercenaryS losing the Sundra. MercenaryS losing the Sundra by bringing him right into the lane from which DA attacks. That's just... And now DA has so many Sundras set up here. MercenaryS cannot hold in that building. They need to bring in spawn points right now. Like right now, they need to bring in spawn points.
Yeah,
they're gonna get kicked out of this building.
And 3 other, I think they have 1 heavy, an NG, and a medic. Oop, 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 they're squad beaconing in.
Yeah, they're bringing in some Vanguards apparently too to take out those Sundras, but they're gonna take a while to show up. And at that time, MercenaryS is gonna get kicked out of this building quite quickly. So bring in some air, bring in some spawn beacons.
Yeah, they're tossing down the smoke, taking out some of these guys that are around surrounding the A point. They're trying to take the area around the A point, which is really good for them. They don't want to stay in that building because they're just going to get grenaded. But DasAnfall's bringing in a Mag Rider that's continually just putting the pressure on them, so they have to move back to the other side of the A point building. And meanwhile,
MercenaryS
bringing
in the air.
Squad.
MercenaryS bringing in the air. Here comes the...
Oh, where are they at?
Here come the Reavers.
Oh, yeah.
They're right now over Chimney Rock, taking out a DasAnfall Liberator. DasAnfall Galaxy shows up though, and that air needs to turn around right now and help the guys on the ground.
MercenaryS is also dropping down some squad beacons onto the mountainside, so they're going to have a couple more soldiers here that are going to be able to do a little bit more work. They're also utilizing that mountainside so that they can kind of put some pot shots down onto these infantry as well, and try to possibly take out that Mag Rider, which they really need to do. Meanwhile, DasAnfall
Mag
also
Rider
pulling
gets
in
taken
a
out.
Sunder.
Mag Rider gets taken out. DA is flipping the point though. Yeah, DA took the building, no problem there. MercenaryS needs to get a nice squad together here and get them back. They still don't have a Galaxy.
DA just lost their Galaxy as well.
Yeah, but they still have 3 Sunderers, and again, MercenaryS not bringing in Sunderers. spawning them at the base. Oh, they can't get over the bridge because it was hacked, I take it.
I can see the frustration in your voice. You're like, ah! But they're at least pulling in. Oh man, they lost their squad beacons. DasAnfall's dropping their own squad beacons.
DasAnfall lost their Sundra, which they had right next to the building. If Mercenaries can pull off this attack, they can retake the point and still only have 1 minute left.
The A
Oh, sorry,
point
I'm saying
is
1 minute left.
contested.
That's not true. 3 minutes. A point is flipping back to Mercenaries right now.
They have no soldier. They have one soldier.
DasAnfall has
He's
a
got
friggin'
the
lasher.
taken out.
Amazing. Yeah, and
think he got taken out
DasAnfall
by a
kicks them out of the
pistol,
building.
right?
DasAnfall has been kicked out of the has kicked them out of the building yet again. And again, Mercenaries
Wow.
bringing in a single Sundra and no Galaxy. The Galaxies are so important in this because you know your squad can just spawn on them. You can fly them over the base. Your squad spawns and you drop them out. Bringing in those Sundras just takes so much time.
Yes, and they're not even worrying about it. It seems like they're utilizing a lot of the squad beacons. They're dropping squad beacons down again onto the mountain, but DasAnfall has already spotted them. They're trying to make their way up this mountainside to get rid of them.
Can we get
They
another
gotta drop
resource spot,
fast if
please?
they want to keep this.
Yeah,
Alright, I'm
Maggie.
gonna put down the resource
Yeah.
beacon.
Great. So at the same time, Mercenaries is, you know, they've put down another Sundra right here. Right next, actually, to the DA Sundras, blowing them up with this engineer with his tank mines and C4. That's just great. That's just great. They literally drove right next to the DA Sundras, taking them out. Wonderful play there, but there's only 3 minutes left on Chimney Rock. And we all know what that means. That means once Chimney Rock is safe, Heyoka Chemical is going to get attacked by DA. Because they're good at that. They know how to move up really, really quickly. Yep, it's immediately
They
happening.
already have a guy onto the point.
Yep, they
The
do. They've
Charlie
got a
squad. They
spawn
already
beacon
have some
right here.
beacons down.
Yep.
They have Alpha. I mean, they have Charlie or actually Bravo and Alpha.
And they did it just in the moment when Mercenaries spawned all of their forces at Chimney Rock. And now they all have to redeploy and get back to Heyoka Chemical.
Mercenary does have some infantry mines set up already, though. No one has walked into them yet.
I don't think anyone will at this point, honestly.
Actually, they might right now when they come through the door. We'll see.
DA just dropping in people slowly but surely, and at the same time Mercenaries taking quite a while to redeploy.
I want to watch someone die to the mine. Oh! He took
Whoops.
damage, but he didn't die. He put on his heavy assault shield. And then they're going to take out the next one. Very, very nice. I wonder if he had flak armor on.
He probably did.
Yeah.
Taking flak armor against all that air is pretty much what you want to have.
Yeah. I was thinking that was probably not the heavy assault, but he did put the shield up right away, so could be both a combination.
MCY had a huge disadvantage here. It took them a minute. They're already a minute into the capture, and that's how long it took them to, you know, get any kind of defenders on this point. And they're just
I think
losing
they're
right now.
concentrating on dominating
wow.
the area first, because they're pulling in a bunch of air, and then I think they're going to drop onto the A. The A point is getting contested at the moment. DasAnfall is bringing in a couple more soldiers.
Yeah, they've got quite a few people now. I mean, every second that you give them means they can drop pod more people in, and they've still got that spawn beacon up. I'm pretty sure. Yes, they do. And
Yep.
they just keep dropping in on this building now. And the longer this takes, the more time ticks down for Mercenaries. And
They're also bringing
they're
in some
behind,
Sunders,
so-
but MercenaryS has already spotted some of them. They're trying to take them out with the Reavers. DasAnfall's still keeping them alive, so that's really good for them. They need those spawn points out here. Let's see. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, they're just hanging out in the air. You're right. They're not even making their way to the A point. I'm not certain what's happening.
Yeah, they're pushing in right now from the top with some maxes and so on. But again, they just pulled like 3 maxes or so to knock out DA from this point. You didn't actually have that many people on it. So you now have these 4 or 5 maxes just kind of sitting at Heyoka Chemical. You need to wait 1 minute 50 for the space to flip back. And then, of course, you need to bring in the Galaxy, load the maxes in there, bring them over to the next base. That's a lot of logistics they have to pull up right now. And the problem is, that doesn't really favor them in any way, because the whole time DA is just sitting on their 4-2 lead and going na 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 na.
Yeah, and they already have a Sunder down, so they're all leading from the Sunder and making their way to the A point once more. Meanwhile, I'm not seeing a Galaxy from MercenaryS, and I'm seeing Bravo and Alpha moving in from the bridge, from their spawn point, onto the A point right now. They're utilizing a couple different maxes, but they have a combination of infantry, so it's not just maxes. What does MercenaryS have inside there? Anything? Are we going to see a giant collision here?
Well, they have a few lightnings, but mostly Skyguards are bringing in a Sundra yet again.
They just have
towards
one
collision.
max, it looks like.
Yeah, I feel like they put the maxes into the Sundra and are already driving past the lightnings. The lightnings saw them just now,
A point
though.
is flipping right now as we speak. Yeah, they have a huge crew here. They're clearing out any mines that they see, any C4 that they find, and we'll see if they can defend this point.
Yeah, and once this point is actually flipped, MercenaryS are immediately already with maxes on the point at Chimney Rock, and they're bringing in even more people. So let's see if they can pull this off, because again, DA has to knock them down. If they manage to take the space, it goes to 4-4, and that's a whole different ballgame then.
Oh my goodness, the tank mines and C4 that are going on right now is insane. MercenaryS is continually pulling armor out, and DasAnfall is just taking them out left and right with their light assault that are on top of the buildings. And then their engineers, it's really good.
Yeah, and DA just kind of sitting on the point, waiting for MercenaryS to rush in. And MercenaryS can't give all of their forces, of course, into this rush, because they've got some of them Chimney Rock. They need to keep the air superiority up, which it seems DA has completely forsaken at this point. But they don't seem to really need it, because they keep getting all those points.
MercenaryS is going to be making a massive push onto the A point here shortly. They're tossing in their smoke. Here's the collision. Just seeing some exchanges going on at these two main doors, which isn't probably the best door to go through, but I can see why they're doing it.
Yeah, DA now pulling back a little bit onto the big stairs down to the point. Point is flipping to neutral.
Massive fight on the top floor. DA is getting completely wiped out. None of their medics are able to keep them up. There was a lot of revive grenades being tossed out left and right, but they weren't able to keep those guys up and repair them in time. They continually just got killed right as they were revived. There's one Max trying to stay alive. He needs to avoid that C4. He did. And now they're moving down to the
MercenaryS
A
on the point,
where they're going to be met by about a half a
Max.
squad. The Max is taking more damage from C4. He's getting flanked from behind by a medic, I believe, and the medic takes him out. And MercenaryS is currently holding the A point. DasAnfall is bringing in a couple more troops from the side wall. I think their medic is trying to maybe revive some of them. In the meanwhile, they have one guy that's one heavy assault that's pushing onto the A point.
And the Max just takes them down. DA still has quite a few soldiers outside of the building right now, but MercenaryS have secured this point quite well. So if they just kind of, I would just leave those soldiers outside the room right now and just concentrate on the point, because the moment they manage to hold it for another 1 minute 30, they should be safe at Chimney Rock.
Oh man, this is intense.
Actually, MercenaryS had to pull a lot of people off of Chimney Rock. They only have 2 people left in there. So even if they do secure this building at Heyoka Chemical, they will be able to flip the point, but they won't really be able to do anything in that base.
They won't be able to sustain it. Meanwhile, DasAnfall's making another drop. They have 3-4 Maxes that are making their way to the point with a couple soldiers that are helping support them. They also have a Liberator and a Scythe that are in the sky, trying to
they did take that air superiority back then.
Trying to keep the infantry coming out from that spawn room area. Let's see what they're doing on the A point. They haven't made a rush yet. MercenaryS, meanwhile, has a couple Maxes alive. I think it's just one Max. He's getting taken down. He took about like 25% damage. He's jumping down to the A point, trying to secure it. He only has 25% health left. He's down. Oh no, he's still alive. He's still alive. Infiltrator just taking out the infantry that was on the A point. Now they're flipping the A point. Their Max is coming in to support them, trying to take out this other Max. Completely takes out the MercenaryS Max, and now this is back in DasAnfall's favor. They also are taking over the high ground with the high staircase point in this double stacked building, and they have secured the area once more.
DasAnfall just on a roll right now, and they've got the air superiority, meaning that MercenaryS coming out of that spawn room, they have to get the bridge, and of course the air, DasAnfall's air loves that. They're just shooting down on the bridge with PPAs, with their Liberators. They've got, what is that, a Saron Harasser actually? Yeah, and MercenaryS trying to get over that bridge. It's not going to work.
We keep seeing them use that harasser left and right. It looks like they're forming up into that building next to across the other side of the bridge.
I mean, the PPA is a
12 minutes,
wonderful
30 seconds
weapon.
left, guys. Just FYI, precasters.
Okay, so we have about 12 minutes and 40 seconds left, and we are at a 4-2. MercenaryS needs to resecure this and take a point. We have 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the cap.
Well, here comes a lot of smoke, but again, thermal with PPA, you just gotta basically start shooting into the smoke. They don't really have that many maxes. I wonder if they don't have the resources right now.
And they might be on cooldown because they just did a max crash a little earlier.
Or that.
Here we go. Here we go.
Got
They're
a
making
few
their massive
maxes.
push.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go watch
push.
this from their side. Grenades being tossed into the building. They were able to take out 2 DasAnfall soldiers.
Yeah, multiple DasAnfall soldiers outside though, jumping in with spawn beacons, with their drop pods, just dropping in right behind them, and the MercenaryS attack has pretty much been crushed at this point. They're all lying here just dead. Single revive grenade could probably bring like 8 people back up. The point is flipping, but it's just a single MCY soldier who's being taken out by maxes as we speak, and the point's flipping back.
Yeah, they countered it immediately and jumped down. Yeah. They need to repair these guys back up, which is exactly what they're doing. They're trying to get, their medics are trying to get people back up. Their engineers are trying to repair all of these.
Yeah, they're doing it, and they're rushing in. They're rushing in from the top now. DA had to go down to defend the point. They didn't know how many there were. And so now we're in the building, but so many maxes, those VS maxes, just destroying everything. Breast grenades coming back, doesn't help though. They're just standing there, immediately falling down. Just immediately fall back down again.
They're able to take out a couple of the DA maxes though.
We've got an NC max here. Max goes down.
DasAnfall's maxes are getting low. Their engineers are trying to repair them. They're actually MercenaryS throwing grenades in the back, taking out that back line of engineers, but there's medics tossing in revive grenades right after that, countering it and getting those medics back up. The medics are pulling back, trying to get repaired, trying to get these. Now they're all pulling back to the staircase in the hallway, trying to get these guys back up. The maxes are trying to give them a little bit more support, but DasAnfall's not looking so good. They need to get these guys back up and repaired.
DasAnfall is right on the point right now, and MercenaryS is pushing in through the top. They're bringing in 2 NC maxes, fighting against that 1 VS max, taking it out.
They're also pulling from the back. MercenaryS also coming from the other door on the outside.
They're pulling from all sides now. We're pulling from the top, from the left, from the bottom, and the stairs. And they're basically just coming in with their maxes, going in through the smaller stairs, which does make a lot of sense because it's easier to get in there and close combat with your max. Now, why would you move your max away from the VS max? You want to run into it and kill it with your shotguns. That's what you want to do. And they do it. That max is going to get brought up by a medic really quick. DA being pushed away from the point right now. Still got 2 maxes up though. A single NC max fighting against them, going back for repairs. Revive grenades coming up for MercenaryS, bringing them back up. At the same time, DA setting people up on the rooftop still of the building, shooting anyone that comes close to the building. This is an intense fight. The point being flipped yet again, going neutral. MCY on the point, showing us the power of NC maxes once again. But at the same time, DA took out so many people with their VS maxes, and they're now all on top of the building, pretty much. They're just sitting on top of the building, shooting whichever MCY soldier is coming over the building and the bridge. But MCY secured the point, and I don't think that DA can keep this up with just their spawn beacons.
Oh my goodness, that was an intense, fantastic battle with the freaking, the counters with the nades. It was just, and the maxes. This was just an intense battle for this A point. DasAnfall did not want to lose it. They were trying their best. Now they got to keep this air dominance and try to rush into that A building once more. It looks like they have a Galaxy that's dropping in some more soldiers. They need to get more spawns. Where are their spawns?
They really don't have any right now, it seems.
No, they do. They have a Sunder.
Oh, there is this.
Yes, a couple of soldiers that are coming in. They have about
They have the Galaxy
2-3 maxes.
too?
The maxes are a little behind, so I'm not sure if the infantry are going to rush in without them, but I think that they should wait and rush in together. Hopefully we see that happening. It looks like they're reforming outside of the building to the northeast. MercenaryS is aware of this. They're already setting up some defenses. Their maxes are ready for anybody who's coming into that doorway.
Well, the problem is though that right now in that position where their maxes are, the VS maxes actually have the advantage there because, you know, they're just much better at medium range than the NC maxes, and they can just pop into the door, shoot, do massive damage, and then just pop back out before anything happens. And MCY are the ones, you know, getting grenaded at, who are getting shot at. So they'll have to stay in cover. They'll have to kind of stay pretty much everywhere in this building right now. That is really, really hard to pull off, especially since DA is kind of stopping all of their reforward forces.
They're rushing in from all angles. All of the doors. There's no mercenaries on the A point. Actually, there's 2 on the A point right now. They're getting completely taken out by this max
point
and these 2
immediately
engineer
in DA's
crews.
heads. Oh, and mercenaries is just kicked entirely out of the base at this point. They got 4 people inside the building, and they're spawning on the spawn room, but they just can't get over that bridge. That bridge is just a death trap. They can't get over it. They need to find a new approach. And at this point, they're actually pulling some air, but they don't have that much time. They just don't have time. Everything DA is doing here is just playing into their hands. 2 minutes left on the clock to take the space.
And they need to make a comeback. Not only do they need to take this and resecure it, they need to get some points on the board in order to tie the score up so it can go to a sudden death, so they have an opportunity to win the World Finals. Right now, I'm seeing people screaming in chat. They're like, USA, USA, EU. Like, who are you choosing? Who are you voting for here? There's also a straw poll that's going on. I wonder what the vote is like right now.
Honestly, at this point in time, I'm just completely not caring about EU or US. I just want to see mercenaries score so we can go into, like, just keep going and watching this match. I want to see, like, a sudden death between these two. That's what I want to see. And here comes another push. Here comes another push. They're going into tunnels. They're taking the tunnels. Mercenaries going through the... Yeah, they're going through the tunnels. Wonderful, wonderful, taking the tunnels, coming in from the back. And I don't think DA knows about this yet. Oh, no, 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 they just set up, they just heard about it, and all their maxes are looking down those big stairs. Oh, I think MCY is gonna get killed really quickly when they go through that door.
Yeah, they're prepared. There's smoke, and they're just shooting. Like, their maxes are not even...
Smoke.
Yeah, they're not even, like,
shooting
looking
the smoke.
Yeah.
This is a non-smoking area. Vanu do not smoke, they just shoot it.
That's how we say so young and beautiful, right?
Of course. The enlightenment is strong here.
Yeah. Ooh, but DasAnfall does lose a few soldiers because they kind of got a little bit too brave and went out of the building. They're not going to be able to revive them unless maybe they can toss out a nade. But there's mercenaries coming in through the door right now.
They're coming in. And C-Max pushing up with 2 turrets right there. And C-Max gets taken out. Turrets there. The Max is hiding behind the cover. They don't really need to care about the turrets. All they have to do is go for the point, which they're doing. And they're flipping the point. They've got all their squishies on the point right now. And they're flipping it.
Oh my goodness. You know what I saw, Klyka, that I thought was really fantastic, and I hope we see more of that in the future? We saw Mercenary Maxes charging in behind the DasAnfall Maxes, killing all the support and then focusing onto the maxes.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing to see when the maxes just do not care. They just want to take out, like, the support behind those maxes so that the people following them can take out the rest. And Mercenaries managed to take this point just now. That was a really, really good idea of them to go through the tunnels and attack here from the back. Wonderfully pulled off, but again, still 2 minutes 40 seconds left to just secure the space. And honestly, what is the time right now, Torkz?
Yeah, what is the time? I'm curious if they're going to be able to even make an advancement. Well, whatever time it is. It's time to start cashing.
Time.
Yeah. Alright, let's see
Mercenaries has
what's going
taken back
on.
the air superiority, and I think at this point DasAnfall...
It's 4. You got just that 4 minutes left.
Oh,
4
4
minutes left. Oh, man.
Well, with that, DasAnfall knows about it, and they're probably already celebrating, because with 4 minutes left, there's no way for Mercenaries to score another point. So we actually have our winners for the World Finals.
Congratulations, DasAnfall, on your
DasAnfall.
4-2 win against Mercenaries in the World Finals of PlanetSide 2 Community Clash. I'm going to put out the broadcast right now. GG.
And an incredibly fierce match that we saw, and like I said, the Mercenaries would come back in the second half and show something. Like DasAnfall just pulled like tons of galaxies and scythes now. They're just basically doing a celebration flight at this point, just flying over the mountain and just killing whatever Mercenaries air is there, I guess. But yeah, with that, we saw a really, really crazy round one where the mercenaries didn't quite have their footing. Like they did again use the Sovereign start into Tuma's tech plan to take the point really quick, which is what DA did in the start of the second half. And mercenaries kind of not really sure how to approach. The second half was a lot better, but DA using those 2 points extra that they had, 4-2, they just gritted their teeth and pushed back everything that mercenaries had, and then took that tiny break that mercenaries took kind of like in the middle of the second half. 4-0. Let's make that a 4-2, shall we? Because the mercenaries did capture the base at one point.
Yeah.
There we go.
That figures that one.
And mercenaries there, they took a little break in the middle of the second half, and DasAnfall just pushed into a Yoka Chemical and just constantly stayed in there, showing us some of the most intense fighting on the ground that we've seen in Community Clash. Extremely entertaining to watch.
Very. And extremely entertaining to cast. And it was so nice casting with you, Klyka. I know he's one of the EU casters, so give him a round of applause. I love the EU crew. You guys are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you very much.
I'm honored that I got chosen from the NA crew to be able to cast with you. And, all of the guys on the production side in the background, I'm sure we're going to give them all shout-outs. And to all these players who have played in the season for this first time, thank you so much. I know some of you guys came in last minute into the season, and it means so much to us to even just start doing this and making it happen, And we're going to see these decals in game. We're going to have a North American decal in game, an EU decal in game, and World Championship decal in game for these crews.
Yeah, and it's absolutely wonderful, and I have to thank you again for the wonderful shout out to the EU team and everything, and to be able to cast with you today. This was immensely fun, super satisfying, and just having the opportunity to do this, to watch this kind of stuff, to cast it, to play in it for the players. It's Community Clash, and the support we've been seeing is just amazing. And I'm so glad to be part of this. And I feel that everybody, like, whether you just won like DasAnfall did, or whether, you just came in second place, or wherever you're from, really, whether you didn't even play in Community Clash, I think this is a great thing for just everybody. And
I don't know, viewers
I can't
too.
wait.
I mean, like, we wouldn't be able to have this without you guys, so.
Yeah, like, we wouldn't be able to have this. Like, we're doing this for you guys. And it's great to see you in chat. It's great to see you watch the stream. But I think right now, enough patting ourselves on the back, because it's time to talk to DasAnfall and to give them congratulations. So I say, Maggie, it was great sitting in the commentator's booth with you. Thank you very much again for joining me, or for letting me join you. My name is Klyka, and I say bye-bye.
Wow. I'm exhausted just watching that. I've no idea how the casters managed to keep that up for so long. That was absolutely amazing. The battles for Yoka Chemical, that was some of the best fighting I've ever seen in this game, and I've been in this game a long time now. Well, what do you think, Hamma? Hamma?
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, that last matchup there, that Heyoka was just insane. It was great to watch. I mean, everybody was just all in on that one. I'm pretty sure that all of both teams were in there just fighting back and forth. MCY just wasn't, unfortunately, able to push him out of there to be able to get on to the next base. But yeah, what an intense matchup to wrap it out.
So yeah, DasAnfall just brought their A game today. Not sure about MercenaryS. I don't know if they were outclassed, or they just weren't up against someone this good before, or just different. I'd say we've mentioned before, DasAnfall have quite different tactics. They were more simply aggressive today, but this is not normal for them. But they've still been able to pull a few tricks, and it seems to put MercenaryS off their game a bit. So if you let MercenaryS get rolling, they will just steamroll you. We've seen it time and time again, but they just couldn't do it this time. DasAnfall just had the answers for everything. It's just beautiful to watch. Really good matchup. But it was hardly a steamroll, though. You cannot count out the MercenaryS for anything, because their ground forces, I reckon that their infantry work was actually better than DasAnfall's. The actual guys themselves on the ground were better skill-wise, but it's just DasAnfall's tactics that seem to be just far more solid. I say they just, like I mentioned before, they outmaxed the Max outfit. Really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely wasn't a steamroll. It was a lot of back and forth. Both teams played really well. They responded very quickly to each other in terms of attacks. It seems like DA was a little bit quicker on the move at the beginning. They were able to get in there really early and get that point, and that kind of did it for them.
Yeah, that's the advantage on that lane, I would think. But yeah, definitely. Oh, I guess we have to talk to our outfits now. Ender, you there, mate?
I am.
Oh, how you feeling? You're the world champions.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a tight match. Congrats to MCY. You guys really pushed us. There were several things that I was struggling to try and get answers up for. Especially that shredder lib. That was tearing us up several times throughout the match.
Yeah, it's quite not so much air than we usually see in the Com Clash. Lots of groundwork today, which I love because I'm not a fly boy. I'm definitely a ground pounder myself. But there's no one instance where I can say, look at that, I'll talk about that. Oh, that was good, that was funny. It was just non-stop action. There was just explosions, guns going off everywhere. As soon as one point was secure, the other one would flip, and it was just back and forth, non-stop. You just, like I said before, I'm exhausted just watching it. What was it like on your TeamSpeak? I have absolutely no idea. How did you just keep together?
Yeah, well, I mean, we were separated into channels, but even then, like, things got fairly stressful at several of the points. I know in the first round when we were coming around with about 40 seconds left, normally I just had people deploy into the gal, but this time we actually took the time to pick up maxes, and our gal pilot kind of DC'd at 40 seconds left in the first round.
Oh,
but
I know the feeling.
Yeah, we were like, oh man, but we kept pushing, and yeah, there were several things. We tried a couple of our repair buses with walkers to fight off their shredder libs, but they ended up, I think they flipped the point behind us at that point, and our Sundays kind of got desynced. And when your Sundays get away from each other in that, I guess, strategy, it really goes downhill quickly. The maxes too, we were just struggling to deal with the max. That's actually why we ended up pulling our own maxes towards the end and Comet maxes just to deal with the NC maxes. But it was definitely great fighting both sides. It felt like it was one of those things where you never quite got them clear, and you just kept trying to straggle people in to kind of regain the momentum or a hold, I guess, on the base.
Yeah, you see, you cannot fault MercenaryS for their groundwork. Like you mentioned before, they brought you down to their level, which is I find quite amusing. There was less of the fancy stuff, some fancy stuff, but in the end, it was just like just smashing into each other, and it was great to watch.
It was a pretty big slug match, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely!
Probably
fantastic.
Literally.
So, what are you going to do now? Are we going to be back for the next season? You got to defend your title, surely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've got several other people that haven't been able to come to practices and scrims that I'm going to try to get some more scrims and stuff like that going, just so that I can have more people to kind of to pull from. Because really, I mean, before I do a roster for each match, initially we were short, and then we would get right on, and I'd have to make a couple subs to make sure we hit 24. Now we have about 4 or 5 people generally that I have to switch around out through matches. I guess my goal for season 2 is just to get more people experience, so I have a bigger number of people to pull from.
Yeah, my outfit wants to play next season, and basically you terrify me. So does a lot of the other outfits, for that matter. In that case, would you like to pimp out your outfit? Where's your website? Where can they join? Are you selective?
It's at DasAnfall.com. There's a general forums that's open to anybody there. If anybody does want to scrim, or anybody I did that panel last night on FNO with Maggie and Kid Riot and Klyka and Vengeance, and that was a really good panel. It talked about a lot of the competitive stuff. If you are interested in this kind of stuff, definitely check out ps2comclash.com, because season 2 stuff is going to be open right after this match. if you want to stop by our forums or send me a PM anywhere, do it. I mean, I'd be more than glad to help you get your stuff going and just help you get your foot in the door. Yeah, I guess we're really excited about season 2. Had fun season 1. Hope everybody else did. As things go on, it should keep getting better, I think.
Oh, most definitely. The quality of matches just get better and better and better. Thank you so much for all the entertainment for however many months it's been now. Absolutely fantastic, Ender. I guess I'm going to hand it over to Hamma and MercenaryS.
All right, Master Chief, how you doing?
Good. It was a good match. I think people enjoyed watching it, and I've brought Evil Jolly along with me, one of our other co-leaders, same as me. So yeah, he can give an insight too.
Awesome. So kind of give us a little bit of a rundown. What was your plan going in? Did you guys see anything you weren't expecting?
I mean, the issues with obviously, resources gals and all that sort of thing. I'm not going to make excuses. We both had a different way to play today, I would think. But we came in, we took the point and off them after they dropped it, and we held it for the first round and scored the 2 points. They then secured it back off us. It was a hard-won fight, both sides. I think you're going to get these sorts of matches when you get to a final like this. You've got two great communities going up against each other, and who comes out the other side, it can go either way. In my opinion, it's just the way things will go. We fought well. DasAnfall, pulled out one more move than we could. So yeah, it was congrats to them.
It's kind of interesting. In the second round, I noticed that you guys had a bit more control over the air. Was that a plan that you guys had coming in?
I'll let Jolly field that one.
We discussed it at half time. We weren't really sure how DasAnfall were going to open in the first half. We knew that they would come with air. We didn't know quite what strength, and we kind of started with a slightly more all-round game. We had a couple of vanguards on the ground that had served us really well against innies. So we tried to sort of hedge our bets a little bit, I suppose, in the opener of the first round. Second half, obviously, we knew we were in a bit of trouble, I'll be honest, because it was 2-2. I think everybody acknowledges that coming in from the north is slightly trickier. So we knew we had it all to do. We'd seen what they'd done in the opening of the first half, and to be perfectly honest, they were camping our tech plant, which was extremely effective for them. We just couldn't get our Charlie squad, our air guys, back off the ground efficiently. So the natural counter to that was to make sure that we absolutely won the air in the second half, which I think we probably did largely. I don't have anyone here in Charlie to confirm that just at the moment, but it felt like we largely had control of the air. I don't know really. So yeah, we discussed it at half time, and we deliberately went with more air in the second half.
One thing that was interesting I noticed you guys kept doing was putting a galaxy right on the right on the outside of the base at Chimney Rock, just sitting there while you guys were attempting to capture the point a couple times. That was an interesting tactic, and
yeah,
was successful.
We just couldn't get a decent leapfrog going. I mean, it was constant pressure. That's what the best outfits do to you. They I hear on the stream a lot that MCY should be doing this, Innie should be doing that. Why aren't they doing this? It's largely down to the other guys. They're putting pressure on you, and they don't make it easy to just play out your plans. So you're constantly trying to adapt on the fly, and we were trying to get a few leapfrogs going, and we managed to get on their point a couple of times even with a max or two, but they were extremely fast coming back. I mean, it was very well played. I take my hat off to DasAnfall, really. They deserved to win.
Awesome. So if you guys want to go ahead and talk a little bit more about your outfit.
Yeah, sure. We, like I mentioned in the start, we started in 2002, and we've always been into competitive events. We're run by 6 co-leaders, and we find that serves us best as a community. Everybody has a different approach to outfits, and we don't always see eye to eye. But at the end of the day, we come here to basically beat the crap out of each other and have a good time. We'll be back for season 2, and we have quite a lot of players that are interested in this sort of play that didn't get in to the squad as much as we could have done, and we will be addressing that for season 2. We have, a good outlook for the outfit. We're growing, and we will continue to get better. Hopefully, come back and win the world champion next year. Well, next season, sorry.
Awesome, that's great to hear. I know a lot of people will be excited to see you guys come back and take part in the competition again. You guys have any closing thoughts for season 1?
Obviously delighted to win the EU bracket. Like I said against Innie in the post-match interviews, none of the European servers can take that away from us. Huge congratulations to DasAnfall having won the match tonight. Obviously, big shout out to all the guys that organised this, all the guys from Pro7 on the European side.
Oh, yeah,
Tony,
Peter
we always
and Tony.
Tony, we mention a lot. Thank you very much. Klyka, obviously, Fara, SteelDragon, and we've had a huge amount of fun. So we'll be back for season 2 for sure.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to go ahead and throw it back over to PoisonedAl.
Ooh. Right, then. I guess it's time for thanks. Thanks to our lovely casters, I can never pronounce this right, Luperza, and Klyka, yes. And Klyka, SOE, Shoutcast, PlanetSide Universe, and, of course, you. We do it all for you. Thank you all for watching. If you want to join us for season 2, well, head over to ps2comclash.com. That's ps2comclash.com. You might want to look at our Twitter, which is exactly the same address. That's a bit of synergy there in our advertising. And I think that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh, so
The Torkz is spoken. Wait.